Hello, my name is Michael and I work at Michael's second-hand bookshop in Ramsgate. This is about the order to read the Philip Pullman Lyra books, often called the Golden Compass series or the Northern Lights series. So I've just read the whole series because of the recent publication of the latest book. So if you're reading them in the date order that they happen in the books, this isn't the order they were written in, then the first one is The Book of Dust. We've got a second-hand copy of that on the shelf at £2.99. The next one is Once Upon a Time in the North, and we've got a second-hand copy of this on the shelf at £2.50. It's a bit hard to tell whether this comes before or after the Book of Dust, but I do recommend reading it second. The next book is part of the original main series, so this is the first book in the original Lyra trilogy, and this is on the shelf at £1.99, about what you'd expect to find it second hand. The next book is The Subtle Knife, also £1.99, and the next book is The Amber Spyglass. This is also on the shelf at £1.99. Then comes Lyra's Oxford. We've got this on the shelf at £1.99. This is a small book and it covers some of her adventures after the main series. And then this book, Serpentine, we haven't actually got a copy at the moment, so this is my copy. Then we come on to the Book of Dust. So the Book of Dust is the follow-on, as I say, if you're going in date order, and we haven't got a copy of this at the moment. It comes and goes, and it, depending on condition, I think the paperback would probably be about £2.99, and hardbacks are probably going to be about a £5 now, that sort of area. And then the final book is The Rosefield. We haven't had this in second hand, so I think if you want to buy it, you'll probably have to buy it on the internet. I don't think you'll pick it up in a second-hand bookshop yet. So, sort of further on to what this is all about. So, as for the reading age, I would think you could start these at about 12. I think it's a mixture of how well you can read and what you can actually comprehend. So it also makes a very good adult read. I think viewed through this series, Philip Pullman is the best writer of fiction aimed at teenagers that I've ever read, and I have read a lot of them. This is a fantasy series incorporating parallel universes, and it's got plausible child, teenage and young adult characters, as well as some non-human characters. As a further note, I started by reading the main series in the order that it came out, and then read the ones that came out subsequently in the order they came out until the Rosefield came out, and I thought it would be a good time to reread the whole series. So I researched the best order to read them in, and I'm recommending this chronological order, but if you've never read any of them, I would still consider starting with the original series, which is Northern Lights, Subtle Knife, and Amber Spyglass, and then going on to what I did, reading them perhaps in the order they came out. And then if you have a reread, well, yes, I think doing what I did was right. Finally, I should add, Michael's Bookshop is a physical bookshop. We don't post books out to people. We don't list books on the internet. On the whole, I would say the cheapest source of these books will be second-hand in a physical shop. And with us, if you are a young reader and you don't have much money, we will offer you exchange as you go. We'd be very keen to buy the last two, and I'm not sure how many we've got of the earlier ones, so we may or may not want to buy them for money. Thank you very much.